All right. Hey, Alberto. Nice to have
Hey,
you on
Philip.
the call.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you more than anything. I'm more excited to be here.
Welcome. Yeah. So,
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Alberto, it's been great to have you here because you have been with us in the Platinum Group for quite some times now, probably 2 years and more. And so you have been very actively implementing everything we do, even to the highest level, which shows really skills on your part because you have implemented some of the most difficult systems we have created so far, like the KBB, the Din Gracias Ever webinar. And you have done that in the Spanish community because you're very active in the Spanish community, right? You're doing live sessions in Spanish, you're educating the Spanish community of bot builders or people who wants to implement many chat systems into their marketing arsenal. And you have a very nice set, a video set, I can tell. So
Thank you.
I've
Thank you.
watched some of your live, and it's really cool. So yeah, so tell us what has changed in your marketing approach since you have been with us. What have you seen in terms of progress and improvements in results in what you do?
Absolutely. Yeah. Then first of all, before anything, I want to just thank you guys for inviting me over to come and talk to you a little bit of my experience and a little bit of what's going on in my world and how you guys have actually contributed tremendously on it. Telling you a little bit about myself. I've been in this. I think it's been close to about 4 years now. In the online space, I was frustrated with working for AT&T, doing a lot of IT stuff, doing all the 911 stuff for them, and I was just totally frustrated working for the man. I always wanted, I had a dream to have my own business and have my own job, or have control of my own destiny,
Oh,
And about 3.5, 4 years ago, I that's when I decided I need to see what's going on in the online space, and that's way before chatbots were out and about, and Amazon was like the biggest thing. So that's what I did. I started doing Amazon. And then I realized that through Amazon, I was having issues with follow up sequencing, try to get people's emails and stuff like that because Amazon restricted you to doing that. So I needed to figure out how to drive traffic to my store on Amazon. So that's when I started diving in, looking into other avenues, what people were doing. And that's when I got introduced to the world of funnels, of sales funnels. So
right.
then within that sales funnels journey, I was able to become one of the students of Russell Brunson. I'm part of the Two Comma Club coaching program that they have to try to help me reach the 1 million mark and try to get myself to get that distinguished award that everybody wants to, right? So during this whole journey of funnels and all that stuff, that's when about 2.5 years ago, chatbots got introduced and the messenger marketing started coming in. And that's when I said, okay, wow, this is a good thing. I love the automation. I love all the everything technical. I'm very techy. So I was like, I think this would help my flows better than emails because I hate emails. It's really hard for me to write in emails, but it's really easy for me to have good conversations in a chat bot. Uh, so when messenger marketing started and there was the battles between those two platforms, ManyChat and Chatfuel, who was going on, I decided to stick with one platform, and that was ManyChat. And I was noticing that it was really easy to make conversations with the people, how to create the flows. But during that period, I was like, God, there has to be something better, something easier, or something more intelligent, so we could try to make these flows better within the chat. And that's when all of a sudden, I wish I could remember, but that's when I saw you guys. That's
Right.
when David and Philippe came into my world, and and that's when it hasn't stopped. And I don't see myself ever stopping for the reason that because you guys have me hooked like 1,000,000%. And the reason why I say that is because God, without when I was doing the chatbots, everything seemed like it was basic, simple, create this flow, create that other flow. Uh, but I was stuck. I was stuck in there and trying to see how I could automate the bot with emails, how to follow up, make sure I'm talking to the correct audience, to the correct people. And it was very little of that information back then. And that's when you guys came in and it introduced me to a higher way of thinking within the bot and how to use all these other tools that you guys use and you guys teach us. And it's just been amazing. It's just amazing being part of the MME Messenger Marketing Experts Platinum, being following you guys, learning from you guys consistently. It's been an amazing ride, and that's how I pretty much came in to be with you guys.
Great.
Hopefully that answered that question.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, great.
So you're when we first implemented the Evergreen webinar for Dean Graziosi, that's something that you started to integrate for your own business. Tell us a bit about that.
Exactly that, because in the funnel world and on the ClickFunnels side, in the world of Russell Brunson, he's always hitting us with publish, 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 and find something for you to publish. Either publish on a podcast, or do a webinar that you're going to do a webinar every day, or try to do a webinar once or twice a week. So he was just hitting us with that, with the publishing side.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I need to create a webinar. That's going to be the avenue that I'm going to go. But how could I integrate the chatbot so I could get more people into the webinar and make sure that these people show up and my show up rate would go up? And that was one of the things that attracted me to MME at the very first journey when you guys started, because that was pretty much like one of the first flows that you guys introduced us to. And that was just an amazing, that's where I got amazed on how you guys allowed the flows and the follow-up sequences and the connections between active campaign, and how you could do all these follow-ups with this, just basically the Dean Graziosi one, which is a flow that I pretty much mimicked, and I mimicked it for the LAN community, because that's who I serve. I serve LAN Latinos in Latin America, so it's out of the U.S. Don't ask me why I don't focus on the U.S., but I've been focusing a lot on Latin American countries outside of the U.S., and it's been amazing. It's an amazing journey, because people have been really, really surprised and saying, wow, Albert, you out of all the people we've seen on chatbots, everybody's just teaching the basic stuff, but you really have mind blown us with what you could do. And those are so generous words for me, but those are actually words that belong to you guys, that it's really you guys I got to thank for that. Because with your experience in that teachings that you have given me, I've been able to show those skills with the LAN community, and they've been amazed and excited on trying to create those flows. And that was just barely on the Dean Graziosi side.
Right.
Well, we're very happy and very honored to have you as an ambassador for the Latin community, because we don't speak Spanish, but
Yeah, right. But did you actually see when you started implementing? So you obviously went from just using like ClickFunnels and then adding in the messenger side. Did you see an uptake in more people showing up, and did it make a big difference for you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've noticed that my increase of the webinars was actually significant on the open rates more than anything back in the day, right? The very beginning, especially on the Dean Graziosi side. I was seeing the open rates back then were a good 80%, 90% of them. And my follow-up on that to have them show up, my show up rate went to about 50 to 60% show up rate, which was really, really, really good.
Wow, very good.
So I had a good increase on that. Yeah.
So what sort of percentage increase was that? What was it prior?
I want to say like it tripled it.
Wow.
The show up rate was like tripled it, more than anything.
So it tripled your show up rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's cool. That's very cool.
And is it something you have?
And then I've been implementing it on Facebook Live. So now I use it a lot just for coming in Facebook Lives. So I use the chatbot to try to get more people to come and see me on Facebook Lives, especially now that Facebook is pretty much killing the organic reach. Yeah. So now I use a lot of the strategies of Messenger to try to get more people to come. And with the OmniChannels that you guys are going to be showing, and with the new program, it's an amazing with the integrating SMS and email and all the other stuff, and mobile wallet.
Yeah, yeah. And is it something you have implemented for yourself, but have you implemented that for clients, or just focusing on your business?
I've been implementing it to two of my from the 2 Comma Club program. I've been helping a few, just coaching them, not necessarily coaching, but helping them out and getting their and connecting their bots through their webinar. But that's pretty much just in the Two Comma Club. I've been assisting and helping out. It's nothing that I've done for business wise on that side of the
Okay.
business. But it is something that I'm going to start implementing for the Latin community. I'm going to shift and focus a little bit more on chatbot messenger for webinars. So try to help all these other influencers that are coming up that don't know how to use the chatbot to
Right.
bring more traffic
Okay.
to their
You were also saying that you when we first did the KBB year 1 for Tony, Dean and Russell, that you implemented the KBB funnel itself is that for your business or for a client?
That's been for my business.
For your business, okay.
Yeah, it's been for my business. I've been the guinea pig for this whole thing per se, during this journey of me learning how to implement all this chatbots. So it's been for my business. I've been doing the KBB. I used it for that, and that's when I started introducing the mobile wallet. And a lot of Latin American countries were like, "Whoa, what is this?" And I was showing them what they could do with this. And then it's pretty much what you guys have taught us, that we could also use this for for restaurants and basically for loyalty programs. But I was using it kind of like what it's being used in the KBB is, hey, I got my follow-up videos. Here's 4 videos for you. Click the back of your card. And it's just something that's been really still new for a lot of people in Latin America, the mobile card, especially because a lot of them also do Android, and the Google Wallet is pretty much not integrated. From what I'm understanding, though, this year they're getting used to knowing what the mobile wallet is.
Right.
A lot of my students have that they have that already integrated in their phone.
So what you're doing is you're pretty much using the KBB so that you're using mobile wallet to send your value videos to your community, and the KBB funnel itself for the value videos as well. Is that right? So it's pretty much you've replicated that, but it's for the stuff that you're teaching, right?
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. So the mobile wallet gives them the option in the back to click to see their videos, the three or 4 videos that I have for them to nurture them, and then to also prepare them for the webinar.
Cool.
So I could actually get the opt-in rates up, and I would also follow up on the email with the same video link, so I can make sure that if they didn't see it in the mobile wallet, they're seeing it in the follow-up emails, and also on the chatbot as well.
Very cool.
Right.
And
actually have a little example of what I've done if you guys want to see that as well.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's have a look at.
Cool. Let me see here. How do I share on this one?
There's an icon with 2 little square, I think.
Okay, there it is. Cool. There we go. Let me know if you see that.
Yeah, we see your full screen. We see your camera. Probably you have 2 screens.
Yeah, I have 2 screens. It's not showing the other screen.
No.
Because I chose.
Yeah, now we can see it.
Okay, it was probably delayed. Yeah, so this is pretty much the first flow. See here, out of the L7. This one I did the L7. I know. Did you want to see the L7 one, or did you want to see the KBB one?
The KBB.
Okay, here's the KBB one was done. Yep, on this one here, and this is the welcome screen. Pretty much how you get us into the welcome screen. And it's just, and I still use the same tags because that's the way I was learning to do it before I could try to translate it to a client. But this is the way I learned, is dissecting every part of the flow that you guys showed us, so I could understand how it's following through. So this one is here, just pretty much what you guys showed us is check to see if the pass is installed, and then in here it says, hey, it looks like you've already installed your pass. Do you want to add it to your card? Or if you don't know where your card's at, this is where your card is, where you can find your card. So it's all in the Spanish, and then it checks to see if the pass has been initiated, and then it checks to see again if it's an iPhone, iPad, if it's a Windows phone or an iOS adapter, and it just goes through the different flows, talking to different people depending on what they're using, right? And it's all in Spanish as well. Parece que has usado estás usando un iPhone, looks like you're using an iPhone. And then if you wanted to add your card, here's the pass, and every tag is pretty much the tags to help us follow up and to get the Zap going. And here's the images as well. So I had the images going as well to add the access pass. And thanks to you guys, you showed me the world of nifty images to where I could actually put the name to show up in there as well. So I was like, nice, that was sweet.
That's very nice.
And so it was incredible going through this and knowing everything, how to get those fancy names for people with their tags, right? So that was the thing that actually excited most of Latin America, is like they were seeing their name, seeing their name on the card. That was like the biggest thing, I was like, wow, how do you do that? How you do that?
Most people love their names, right?
Yep, they'd like to see their name and they want to implement it as well, right? Luckily now ManyChat helps us do it easier. But when you guys first showed us was going through the API and the nifty images and all that stuff, putting the name, which is amazing, and that I loved. And then it goes back to let's check to get my pass. They say yes, okay, so let's get your pass going. And then muchísimas gracias for your interest. The first, because this one I used before I'm gonna go live. So las primeras personas las que se les va a notificar. So this one's here. These are the first people that are going to be notified for this event. And obviously, you guys showed me how to use the custom flows, the custom fields. Now I'm trying to translate everything from my head that I teach it in Spanish.
Yeah, the bot field.
Translate it into English. So yeah, the custom fields. I'd how to organize the custom fields so I could just always change those dates or whatever I want to call the program.
Yeah.
So that was something you guys opened my eyes back in the KBB 1 and how to implement all that, how to take control over that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you guys notice, you guys had this in the KBB launch.
Remember,
You guys had this one, the little, hey, we're live. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make it Spanish. So I changed it. We're limited to a certain amount.
Cool.
So if you want to be part of it, make sure you're there on time. And also we could get you alerted through your pass. And then again, here's the image of the pass. And it sends them through the flow so they could get their pass installed. And then through the Zapier integrations and all that Zapier stuff, the Zapier wizardry that you guys showed us, it was amazing. And I actually kind of miss it. I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of miss it on the L7 that everything's really not Zapier.
Yeah, it's
everything's
all API.
like, it's all API, no Zaps going on. But I'm going to be honest with you. That's actually like the thing that showed me and taught me a lot more on how to integrate more, not just chatbots, but how to use Zapier better with other applications. And I thank you guys for that, because you guys taught me more about Zapier than anybody else that would have taught me how to integrate all these other apps, how to integrate your emails, how to integrate Slack, all that stuff. I learned how to do some crazy stuff
so many
just
things
because of you guys with the stuff, with all that. Exactly.
Not only for lead gen of your client systems, but just to automate your entire business, like from A to Z, whether it's accounting, whether it's surveying people, whether it's segmenting your list. So many things you can do with Zapier. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm looking forward to the new OmniChannel program that's just amazing what you guys have been are going to be putting together.
Yeah. And I think when... the cool thing is that I think you were on the 2 Comma Club cruise with Russell, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
How was that?
How was that?
I'm kind of sad because this coronavirus killed it for next year. They already canceled it for us. But this one was in January, and that was an experience. That was an amazing experience. Just hanging out with Russell, hanging out with his wife, getting to meet her, getting a chance to talk to her, speak to her. Speaking to Russell throughout at the beach, hanging out with him. That was an amazing experience. Having a midnight mastermind with him in pajamas. Everybody was in pajamas. He was in pajamas. He had a presentation on stage. He was talking about what is it called right now? I'm trying to remember the name. Structure. A lot about structuring, and he was talking about that, the foundation of having structure. And it was an amazing 12 a.m. presentation all the way till I think it went.
There was also the funky dance that we saw you do as well, right?
Yeah, that funky dance is that funky dance. Actually, that one you saw me at Funnel Hacking Live, and it was on my birthday. That was
That's
on
right.
my birthday. And Russell asked for everybody who had a birthday party to come up, a birthday that day, and I was at Funnel Hacking Live, and took their day, their special day to be with him and be with them. He invited us all on stage, and that's what I was doing,
That's
that the
nice.
funky dance. Yeah, but it was yeah,
So the thing is,
the cruise was
obviously, with the new omni-channel funnels, pretty much what you've got now. I think the you know the capability of being a lot more granular. So knowing, like again, when you were going back to saying Russell is publish, 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 and again, we all know it's all about getting the right content out in front of the right people, getting them to consume the content, and then move them through your funnel. And with the tracking capability and obviously everything that you've got hooked up with Active Campaign now, that's going to really take you again your business to another level, because you're going to be able to really monitor and see exactly what people are responding to the best, so
exactly.
you can do more of that. And I
I'm
think
looking
that's
forward to the Active Campaign, because I did a little bit of Active Campaign stuff with the chatbots as well, sending them to Active Campaign, tagging them using tags, and how to auto unsubscribe people automatically from when they unsubscribe from your bot. How to automatically have it unsubscribe from your Active Campaign list, and how to send them follow-up emails depending on where they are in the bot.
right.
That I've been doing as well, and that's been amazing. I'm looking forward to see what else you guys will be
Cool. Have you
teaching.
tried our custom-made Active Campaign integration, API integration with ManyChat, or not yet?
I don't think I have yet.
Okay, because you
I
can
don't
do
think I have yet.
so many things with it. You
I
can.
think there's a tutorial in the group from Tom who's doing it for some webinars.
Yeah.
I think you did it yesterday, right? Or yesterday, or
Correct.
the day
Yeah,
before.
yeah, put it up yesterday. I was
Yeah, I
watching it this
saw that.
morning.
I was laying in bed and I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, let me save it and I'll watch it. I'll watch it this weekend.
Yeah, but it's very good. And I think the really cool thing that we're doing with Shush, with the omni channels, is that back and forth between all of the channels, so that you know exactly what's being done across the board, where the content's being consumed via email, messenger, mobile wallet, SMS. So I think that's really cool. And certainly with the stuff that we've done with Tony, Dean, and Russell, both years we've proved that adding those extra layers, that omnipresence communication, really does elevate what you're doing, providing you have the right audience with the right content, and then everything that Russell teaches with the technical aspect of what you're learning from us. I think you've got that perfect fit of being able to create that real seamless customer journey.
Yeah, and again, I go back to thanking you guys because you guys really are the reason why I was able to get into the 2 Comma Club coaching. Because it's not a very cheap coaching program. It's over $30,000 a year to get into that coaching program.
Yeah.
So I've been hustling because this is my second year in the 2 Comma Club coaching program.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to that, that was my goal, to try to get at least into the coaching program for them. And so I've been hustling, trying to get, through my funnels, through all my products that I sell in Latin America, to try to be able to play and substitute all that. But I pretty much, I'm very grateful, because you guys are the ones that actually gave me the confidence that, hey, I could do this. And everything that I've learned, I was able to implement it onto these flows, adding funnels and adding the chatbots to it to acquire those customers, so they could go through what I've learned in the 2 Comma Club, so I could take them through their value ladder, every customer's value ladder. So it's been an amazing ride. It's if I had to thank everybody, it would be thanking you guys, you David, you Philippe, and Russell and his whole team as well. You guys have been like the biggest reason why I'm having the success that I'm having. And I know that if I stick around, the success that I really want to have, and the movement and the change in the world that I want to have in Latin America, will happen, because that's one of my visions. That's why if you see the hat that I have, it says FOA. In every video and every presentation, I have FOA on there because there's a story behind that, and it's abbreviation for faith, obsession, and action. But I always say it in Spanish, which is fe, obsesión, y acción. You know, faith, obsession, and action.
Nice.
And it's something that I needed to make sure I reminded myself. I needed something to remind me daily of why I'm doing this and how I'm going to do this, and that I could do this. Because I know a lot of us start in this marketing world and not knowing if we could do this, or we think that all these people that we see are making millions or making thousands it's because they've already done it. They've been doing it for years, and and I can't do that. Well, this is like a constant reminder for myself that yes, you could do it just by having faith and obsessing yourself and learning and actually taking action of doing all this stuff.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of like one of the preaches that I give my students, and because I do have a coaching program for Latin America, and I teach my students that, and I always talk to them about faith, obsession, and action, and making sure they're implementing.
And I think what you've just said right there is the key to success. And again, you've been with us very, very much since the beginning, since we started. So our journeys have somewhat been parallel,
Yes.
So you've seen the growth. You've seen us from doing the Dean Graziosi, the first one to implement Messenger with evergreen webinars, into doing the KBB1 and the KBB2, and it's such an honor to have you as part of the community that actually does take action and then starts to get the results yourself, because like you say, that now allows you to move towards your vision, your goals, what it is that you want to achieve, and it's great to see you on when you were on the cruise. Hey, Alberto on the cruise, he's there with Russell Brunson going for it, and it's like, that's cool stuff. But you're proving that when you do implement, and that's obviously the important word, is when you take action and you implement, but also having faith and confidence in your ability to do that. I don't think we've ever seen you on a tech. Have we ever seen you on a tech call?
Maybe once or twice.
Maybe once or twice for something I just couldn't figure out, and I was breaking my head, and I constantly would try to figure it out. And if I just can't figure it out, it's like I throw in the towel. I was like, okay, let's talk to Philippe and David, because they will have to. Right. So it's been really countless times in my hands, because it's what I do is it's like I go in there, I tweak it, and see what breaks.
Right.
I was like, okay, don't do that.
That's the way.
So that broke it. Okay, do this and do that. And then that's how I learned and how to, if I don't use this flow here, okay, why did Philippe create this flow this way? Okay, let me take it out. Let's see what happens. And boom, all of a sudden the Zap didn't fly. That was back in the Zap day. I was like, okay, cool. So now this is what the Zap was doing. Okay, let me see if I tweak this in the Zap, what happens? And how is it that Zap sent that information back to the mobile wallet part? And I was like, oh, so that's how I learned, is
that's
just
how
by
you learn. Absolutely.
Spin there, break it. Because if you break it and you can't fix it, you guys are there for us to help us out, and just like pretty much instant support there. And now we have those weekly calls where we can jump in there, and you guys, it's amazing how you guys find the problem so quickly.
But I mean, it's
because we're banging our head against the wall a lot of times.
Yeah, but pretty much what you're doing, you go in, you break shit, and then you figure out, like, okay, and then you get to that stage where it becomes very easy to go, right, that's where, because that's happened, I know that it's something in Zapier, or it's something within the automation, or a flow, or a tag's missing, or but it seems that you've gone about learning the way that we went about learning, which is trial and error, trying stuff out, figuring what works, and then going, shit, that, and then going back, and so did you actually dissect the flows and
I had to dissect them, because I changed every wording to Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's what helped me out a lot. And I've noticed some people use your flows, but they pretty much leave everything the same and they don't do too much changes onto it because they're just in the hands of you guys. Is hey, they made it for us. All we're going to do is just change here, change there, and you guys even made it easier with the custom fields. Where now we just fill in the information in the custom fields, and everything else in the flow would change according to your stuff.
Right.
So I was so I had to really translate everything, and by translating everything, I could see the conversations and the flows. I would look and stare at that tag. I was like, okay, why is that tag here? Why is it at the beginning? Why is it at the end? Where else in the flow is it? Where in the sequencing is it? Where is it falling? So I would follow the trails, the little nuggets, yeah, little grains. I was following the grains. So that's I think it helped me a lot is by being able to go in there and translate it. So if anybody that's listening, the best way to learn from you guys is actually just dissect this thing, break it down, find out what why Philippe or why David did certain things in the flow, and to pretty much just try to understand it. Because now I could almost say I could build sections of it without the need of looking at your guys' flows anymore as reference.
Right.
Cool.
For a lot,
Very cool.
especially a lot of the follow-up flows. Like sometimes, hey, do you want to be reminded in an hour? Do you want me to remind you tomorrow? The one you guys just did recently with the L7 and the new flow, that was genius on the way. It's just helped me out a lot. And hey, do you want me to call me in 1 hour? Or do you want me to call you in 23 hours? You tell me the number. And I didn't even think about that. And I was like, wow, okay. So that's when you guys opened up my mind. I was like, yeah, I could have done it that way too a long time ago. And with the smart delays and all that stuff. And I was like, awesome. So now that flow, I understand it really easy where I could just, if I'm going on a Facebook Live, I could just reproduce it, which I already reproduced. Now is just copy and paste them now from the ones I reproduced. But now when I go Facebook Live, my prospects have that option. Hey, do you want to see the replay in an hour after we're done, or do you want me to send you the replay when? Just give me a number and I'll send you the replay in 23 hours. And the same thing you guys put. If they put 25 or 26, you tell them, "Oh, sorry, I can't."
Yeah, that's funny because when
I gotta follow the rules.
When we first created the Dean Graziosi webinar and then the KBB, I wanted to have this capability to tell them just to enter the number of hours they wanted to be reminded in, and we couldn't, and that's why I was begging ManyChat to introduce what I call the smarter delay, because smart delay is a fixed number, but I wanted to have a bot field that introduced the exact number, and a custom field that would populate the smarter delay. And when they finally released it, because it just took a little reminder. I said to them, I asked that 1 year ago. Is it a good time to ask again? And then within probably 2 weeks or something like that, boom, they implemented it, and then we could use that, and was like, okay, then I will introduce that in KBB2, and that was great, and then in L7.
Yeah.
But you know what?
The story on that is to ask for it now, and you'll get it 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have an idea, ask for it now, because in 2 years it might come back.
Yeah, usually they are a bit faster to implement, but
yes, they are. They have been getting faster too.
But the thing is, what you are a living example of what we preach is that yes, what we teach is more complex, more takes more time to implement, but this is something that will separate you from the pack, especially as an agency. That's something that gives you an unprecedented competitive advantage versus the competition that will simply implement simple bot templates or very basic stuff. But when you take the time and you make the effort to learn and to dissect like you did, and to really implement more complex things and systems, and especially with what we're going to introduce very soon into the market with the OmniChannel funnels, which bring that to an entire new level with back and forth communication with the communication channels, like they do something in the email, so we will tell ManyChat that they did something in the email, and then when they do something in the email in the ManyChat, we tell back to ActiveCampaign, hey, they did something in the bot, and if they did something on SMS, we tell the email and the ManyChat communication channel, hey, they did something on the SMS. So we bring the real communication internally within all those communication channels, and that brings the whole system to an entire new level, and that brings the customer experience to an entire new level.
Yeah.
And it brings our value.
Absolutely.
It raises our value as well, even more.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, again, one of the good things that obviously you've done is, because you've gone in and dissected and been through and had that curiosity. Why is that there? Why is that there? Why is that being done? You know, as you've said yourself, pretty much there's probably not much that you wouldn't be able to do to recreate anything that we've come out with a skill set that you have right now, to make any type of hybrid Facebook Lives, webinars with follow-ups, and you know, so there's all of the pre-warm-up content, top of funnel type of stuff, and then middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and you know, so with the coaching that you're getting from Russell and the coaching that you're getting from us as well, I think you've got that perfect combination of the technical skills to be able to use every communication channel that's available to us today, with the skills that Russell teaches to, you know, you're going to be on that cruise ship every bloody year, aren't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
COVID if COVID permits.
If COVID permits, yeah. But yeah, great stuff, Alberto. It's good to see you.
Yeah, I'm having a blast, and I've been helping me dissect it as well. As actually, and it's, you know how everybody says, hey, what goes through the mind of Philippe? What's in the mind of Philippe when he's building this flows? You know, it's like the talk that we have within the group, and those are the same things as I start thinking to myself, okay, so what is Philippe thinking when he's creating this stuff? And that's when I'm dissecting it. That's the thing, is like, okay, why did Philippe did this? But by me doing that, has actually helped me out in other avenues as well, to think, okay, how could I automate this better? Could something I haven't learned over here, how could I automate this other thing that I have? What would Philippe do? That's what I ask myself sometimes, is like, what would have Philippe done in this scenario? And I'm going to tell you one thing that I just started implementing this week, is on the bot itself, I've been able to send analytics information to Google Analytics. Within the links, I already started learning how to use the sourcing and the medium. So every time somebody clicks an action, it sends that information to Google Analytics, where I could see, okay, which growth through did they come in through? So right. Each growth through has its own custom field where it's going to fill out, okay, this is going to go into the medium of if they received it through an email. This one's going to be through a source through an email. This one's going to be a source because it was a link that was in their WhatsApp account. This was a link that was through their messenger. This was through a QR code or something that was in one of my freebies or something. So every single thing now has a source with the growth tool on it, and that growth tool saves it to the parameters, where it now sends that information to my Google Analytics. So now in Google Analytics, I could see, okay, this person came in through the WhatsApp, and this is the campaign that they did, and this is the action that they did. And I was like, now that came from, okay, what would Philippe do? And how would Philippe have figured this out to send this information inside the flow to my Google Analytics?
Now you know where you should focus your efforts, or maybe spend more money on, based on the results you get from different avenues. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And that's what this week I started building and breaking my head into it. And for a new offer that I'm going to be launching, hopefully within this week. And it's pretty much on how to use chatbots to go live to go live either on Facebook Lives or on a webinar. How could you use a chatbot to integrate yourself into a live presentation?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be giving a freebie out, like a little handout. Actually, this is a lead. It's this little book here. So this little book, I already gave it to them. It's going to be like a free book plus shipping.
Cool.
But for Latin America, it's going to be digital, so they could just download it for $7. And this is going to be my introduction.
Nice.
And this is going to be my lead generator. And then from there, it goes through the process of the whole
gateway to
funnel.
the Tucumã Club.
The gateway to the Tucumã Club, exactly.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. So it's been great.
It's great. It's great. Honestly, it's great to see that you're not only you're taking action, but I think you're doing it quite aggressively, right? You're a man with you're definitely a man with a vision, that's for sure.
Yes,
we can
that's
tell
for
that.
Sure.
And I think it's great to have you as part of the community and to hear your success, because it's, as we keep saying, our success is our students' success, and when to have you on the call and to see the progress that you've made is like big smile on my face. It's great, so.
Well, this smile's because of you guys, absolutely, as well.
Yeah, man. Thanks for taking action, because it's I think you're a testimonial to the rest of the group that when you do dig in, get your hands dirty, and take action, nothing is out of your reach. It really depends on the vision that you have for your business, what you want to achieve. You're obviously a man that's very driven. You're part of being that part of that Tucumã Club coaching program, which is, as you say, is very expensive. And you're really taking action,
and thinking out of the box, and always trying to implement what we teach to other avenues, and I love that.
Yeah,
that makes me want to say caramba.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's an amazing journey. It's been incredible. It has its ups and downs, definitely, like anything. It's especially when you want to hit certain goals and you haven't hit them as well, and then you have certain things that come in play, right? You got the coronavirus, and you have all this other stuff, all these other distractions. So it's been an interesting journey for myself as well.
Right.
But what keeps me going is just keep reminding yourself, hey, you're the one. You could do this. You have faith in yourself. Have faith in yourself. And by how do I create that faith in myself is just by obsessing myself and learning and finding who are the people that are successful, and try to learn from them, and who are implementing the stuff, and who do you want to learn from that has the same values, the same ideas, the same mission as you, and you gentlemen are just the perfect reason why I'm in the group. And I even said, I wouldn't. Who was the first one, or who mentioned last week? Hey, when is the mastermind in Bali? Right, I'm ready for that one as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm doing a cruise. Maybe I could say, hey, Russell, let's stop by Bali or something. Right? But it's been an amazing journey, and there's a lot of work to be done, because my thing has not just been for myself. Yes, we all want the millions, and you want the thousands, you want all this money and all that stuff. But for myself, it's more of who I serve. It's who I'm trying to serve, and what I'm trying to accomplish is helping the Latin American countries, and I push myself. I try to get on Facebook Lives as often as I can, so I could deliver my message, because the message is them, to help them out, and to train, and they change their mindset, because that's the biggest thing in Latin America is their mindset. It's a lot of cutthroat amongst each other, amongst Latin America, especially in Mexico. Not so much so in Colombia. Colombia seems to be a little bit better in the marketing sense and helping each other out, but Mexico is a little bit more on the different side of things. They're very skeptical, because they've been really hit hard, really, with the way the country's been run. So for myself is trying to make sure I understand them and how I could deliver my message to them as well, where I could help them out, and using the internet, using the online businesses to create their business. By going online is the only way I think they could change their world and change their political views and change everything in there.
Absolutely.
So it's a long process for them. It's a huge journey, but I'm looking forward to being part of that journey, and hopefully I could make a big change on that. And that's why I do. What I do is what I do.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been an absolute honor and a privilege talking to you. You know, stay safe, man. Keep hustling, and you know, hopefully when all of this coronavirus is over, we will be holding. I mean, we were due to be doing the Bali Mastermind in May of this year, right?
Yeah, we spoke about that in the many chat conversations, right? That's where we spoke about it.
But we will be doing it, and I'm sure you're going to be here with us to enjoy it, man. But
absolutely,
in the meantime, stay safe, keep hustling, and good job, man.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you again for having me. And thank you for having the, MME, having the Messenger Marketing Platinum, because you guys are amazing, man. And I thank you for everything that you guys do. It's just amazing how you guys are there constantly, and you guys we could ask a question and you guys are there immediately. And there's other groups where the big guys are not even answering the questions. They let their little gurus answer the questions, but sometimes we want to hear it from the big guys, the leaders of that group, right? And that's something that I really appreciate, and I love that you guys do. That you guys are there constantly. Yeah, it's sometimes I feel like, okay, I hope they're okay. If I don't hear from you guys, if I post something, that question or something, if we don't hear from you guys, I think within an hour or two, everybody freaks out. Are they okay? Are they okay? Because you guys are so quick in answering our questions, or if not, giving us a response. And I really appreciate you guys.
Have a tsunami or an earthquake?
Exactly.
It's normally the 12-hour difference, right? So you've probably got in your head, right? If I send it at 3 p.m., it's going to be 3 a.m. But
so they might be sleeping.
They're sleeping now, yeah. So
they'll be sleeping. Maybe when they wake, they'll see it.
Yeah, anytime from sort of 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. when you go to bed. If you send a question, you know you're going to get an answer within an hour, right?
Put it on autoresponder to send it at a certain time.
Yeah, it's just set up. If I want an answer to a question, remember to post it in the group between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. because that's when they're active in the group.
Remind me to
go through all that stuff.
Exactly.
Cool. Good.
So I thank you guys and everything as well. Appreciate everything you guys have done. Stay safe as well.
Yeah.
My condolences to yourself, David, as again
thanks,
for your grandpapa. This is a tough time. This has been a crappy year for a lot of people, and I understand. I feel your pain, and my prayers and loves go to you and your family as well on that. All righty, gentlemen.
Thank you, Alberto.
Cool.
All right, so have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Likewise, enjoy it. You get Saturday for you guys. It's barely Friday night for me.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good evening. Have a good day. Hasta luego. Fuerte abrazo. Hasta pronto.
Do you like Star Wars?
No. Somebody put those there for me. I have no idea who.
I hate.
I even have like sound effects. Like I could talk like
Darth Vader.
Hello, Ren. I can change my voice.